Okay, hey there guys. Okay, this is gonna be 2 videos at least about third eye. Alright? Your third eye. And some of my experiences. So before in meditation, a long time ago, before I meditated, brought my heart to my head, cracked my ego, had the out of body experience, before that event, I would lay in bed and I'd see the only thing in my third eye I would see were black and white pictures of aliens and the odd face, okay? Demon faces, scary faces, people's faces, aliens, and I would see like a symbolic, a triangle, okay? A triangle. I'd see um, the star, you know, whatever the hell it is. Star, you know, the satanic star, stuff like that. I don't know if it's satanic. I didn't even know what it all meant. I just looked at it and there it is. Scary, bad, whatever. And I always pondered it and wondered about it. And then I read about it, the third eye stuff, read about it, that other people's experiences. I had to read about it. There was no internet back then. So then, after I cracked my head, okay, everything changed. So I lay in bed and I see now like primary color, red, white, blue, green, purple, all swirling around, okay? And that's without the aliens, okay? I had the aliens also, they'd come and crack my brain. As you know, if you watch my other videos, they come and crack my ego constantly, right? But they do things to my spirit which enhanced everything. So I'd be asked to traveling from me to the craft all the time, back and forth, and I could see the land behind me, right? All around me, all the way to the horizon. I could see the ship. I could see the ETs, back and forth, back and forth. So I was basically seeing astral traveling. Now, all that came into play with my third eye and stuff. But take the aliens out of it, okay? This is what I'm trying to do, and just give you how I evolved my third eye. So my next big thing was after I cracked my ego, I was with my buddies partying in Windsor. I wasn't totally pissed up, but we got a motel room for the night. And so I went to bed, and I'm laying on the bed, and I fell asleep. And all night long, all I visually saw in my third eye, really vivid, was people having sex, staring in each other's faces. Okay, and all I got was horny, right? I was fucking horny as you could imagine, and I knew right there that I was seeing the energy in the bed, because what do you do in a motel room, right? Or a motel or hotel? You have sex, and that's all I saw. That's all I saw all night long. So I got up off the bed because I couldn't fucking take it anymore. I needed some sleep. Laid down on the floor, tried to sleep there. I fell asleep. All I saw was the same thing. The whole building was infested with sex energy. Okay? I couldn't go anywhere. So I just laid there all night with my eyes open watching people have sex. It was sick. It was the most disturbing thing. It was brutal. It was fucking brutal. It was brutal. I hated it. So, that was the last time I ever slept in a motel. I'll sleep under a pine tree before I sleep in a fucking building. Never again. I'll never do that again. Well, maybe I will give it a try. I don't know. But maybe I can block it, get Christ to push it out. But then I didn't know how to open my chakras. I didn't know how to close my chakras. I didn't know any of that. And if I have closed chakras, I get stressed out, right? And I get stomach cramps and headaches and everything. So I try to stay open all the time. But I know different ways of doing things now, so maybe it'll change for me. But I have never tried again. Anyway, after that snake pit all night, next big experience was This is after I cracked my ego, by the way. Bringing my light to my head and meditating all the time. My next big experience was I would see bacteria on my eyes. Now there's two different ways. When you're meditating in the darkness, you don't see as much. Okay? And I found that out. When you wake up in the morning and the sun coming through the window is lighting up your room, if the sun is actually a little piece of sunlight is coming through the window and reflecting on your eyes, actually your eyeball too. If you can get the sun reflecting on your eyes and you're in a meditative state where you wake up in the morning and the sun's on your eyes, you'll start seeing things. Okay, it highlights the energy and makes it bright so you can see more, and more stuff happens. And that's what this video is about. Put some sunlight on your eyes in meditation, and then just check out. Not real bright, solid, direct sunlight. Okay, just open the window and it's still just a little bit too bright for you to sleep. Where it's sort of like where you want to fall asleep but you can't because the sunlight's there. That's what you do. Just lay there and just watch. Bring your inner light, your innocence, and a spark to your head, and just lay there and watch. And you'll see the colors swirling around, and all of a sudden you'll start seeing faces, pictures, and this. Okay. At first, I used to see all the time. Actually, I would see stuff inside my eye, and I would see bacteria on my eye. And I'd be laying there, and I didn't know what it was at first, the first time it happened. And this is with the sun on my eyes. I'd wake up from sleeping in the afternoon, and the sun would be on my eyes. And I'd be laying there, and I could see like a white screen with a whole bunch of little twinkling things on it, moving real fast on my. And I didn't know what it was. And then, as soon as I thought, well, what the hell is this? And all of a sudden, boom! I'm looking at, like through a microscope. It just zoomed into like a microscope, and I'm seeing bacteria. Single-celled bacteria moving around in my eyes. And they're all fighting. And I see little nasty things like dirt. And then you can see slime. You can see the layers of slime that the bacteria live in. You'll see the contours of slime. It looked like little patterns, little waves of thick gooey. It's like if you take Vaseline and put it on your lens of your camera and you see the lines. That's what it looked like. And I just knew it. I was seeing, and I could zoom into it. And this is with the light on your eyes, okay? And you can see like dirt particles that just sit there. So it's really fucking amazing, man. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Well, it gets better than that. Then, one time, I was looking at the bacteria, and all of a sudden I switched, and I'm inside my eyeball now, inside my eye, and I'm seeing a whole world of little tiny things, all lined up. Hundreds of thousands of little things all around me. It's like I'm in a big giant auditorium, like one of them astronomy rooms where you see all the stars. I forgot what they're called. I just woke up too. But anyway, I'm in one of those rooms, and it's where you see all the stars, but they're all lines, and they're all like little things sticking out of the walls, all in lines. And I'm like, what the hell is that, right? And then I realized, after some time, I was looking at my eye, and these little things are the things inside your eye that bring in the light and interpret it of what you're seeing. I forgot what they're called. And then if you look at and then I saw some that were like burned out. It was like they were all black. Okay, like there'd be 4 or 5 in a little circle that were burnt out, black. And then I remember the day before, everywhere I look, I'm seeing this black dot. All right? The day before, I thought, what the fuck is this black dot I'm seeing everywhere? And then I realized, don't look at the sun, and I am always taking pictures of birds, so it's probably looking through the camera and burnt my fucking light bulbs in my eyes, the little things in my eyes. And then I got to see it next morning. This is the little black dot. The little receptors are burnt out because you fried them. And I'm like, holy fuck, really? And I'm seeing what's causing the black dot. All because I wondered about it. What's this little black dot? And then I looked it up on fucking the internet or whatever, and we had the internet by this time. I looked up on the internet, and it showed the exact same thing. And that's why you don't look at the sun directly. Okay? It's just a little pinpoint of black dot. It's just a little tiny pinpoint of black dot. Because I'm always looking in the sky for UFOs. So when you're looking up in the blue sky, a solid blue sky, you'll see a little black dot everywhere you look. And it drives you fucking nuts. That's because you burnt out the little receptors in your eyes by looking at the sun. Dumbass. Me. That's the fucking lesson. Don't look at the sun. Alright. So, that is when I woke up in the morning looking at the bacteria with the sun on my face, with the sunlight in the room, and all that happened. So that's another experience I had with the third eye. You can go inside yourself. And I think I did. I went inside my brain and looked at the different things going on. It was all in that area, right? So this next experience is later on in life. This one was really cool. This is a badass one. So I remember I was at my cousin's house in Thamesville, and I was spending a few days there doing moving them or doing roofing or something, helping them move or something. Anyway, I was there, and I had to sleep on the couch, and so they had big windows, so the sun came up, and the sun is shining in the windows, right? And I was too tired, and I realized, well, hey, and this is after I killed the Grim Reaper, you know? Every time I laid on someone else's surface, the Grim Reaper, I'd be bouncing off the energy. So any other surface I would sleep on, I would start leaving my body because the energy is conflicting. And the Grim Reaper would come and scare me, right? But I had already killed it at Grandma's house because I was sleeping on her couch, and I killed it because I was on Grandma's couch's energy. So every time I'm sleeping on someone else's energy, the Grim Reaper would come, right? Finally a voice in my head said, "Are you tired of this?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so that's a projection, a fear. So your own fear is projecting in the astral plane back at you to keep you in your body, to wake you up. And you wake up and you can't breathe, and you're awake, you can't breathe, you can't move, you got paralysis, and the Grim Reaper's coming at you, they'll fucking kill you, or whatever it is. Some people told me they have the lion, there's a lion that's going to come and kill them. Some people tell me that they have my mom had a little, I think it was my mom, she had like a little carpet, and it would grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because go to consumer, and she'd be afraid of this little piece of fucking carpet. I don't know. But anyway, I've gotten other people's stories. For me, it was the Grim Reaper, right? Anyway, I killed mine, so I didn't have that problem anymore. So I'm laying on this couch. I wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden, I'm looking. I wasn't astral traveling. I'm totally in my body. I wake up and I'm laying there, and the next thing you know, I zoom to the wall in my third eye, and I go to the wall, and I go into the wallpaper. I get closer and closer to the wallpaper, and I get up real close, and I can feel pressure, a little bit of pressure on my head. And I go, well, go further. I just thought, go further. And I went right into the wallpaper, right up to where you see the threads of the wallpaper, right? And make little X's. billions of little X's in the wallpaper. And I'm looking at like an X, like this. Okay? And I'm looking at it really up close. And then I said, well, go closer. So I went, and I went into a fiber that made up one of the strands that made up the X. Okay? Because it's made up, wallpaper is made up of strands of like rope. I don't know, string stuff. And then, well, the paper we had. And then there's like millions of billions of little ropes, and they all, the weave of thread was overlaid with some kind of plastic or something. I don't know. Anyway, I went into one of the weaves of thread that made up. And I went into it, and I was zoom. And then I went real up close. And I went up to all the fibers that made up the rope that was stuck in the wallpaper that made the grid. And I went right up to one of the fibers that came out of the rope, a little piece of broken fiber. And I'm like, holy shit, right? And I'm like, wow. But the pressure, I'm just like, the energy in the wall was pressing on my head. And I'm like, oh, I can't take the pressure anymore, right? It was just like, and I'm looking, I just hang there, right? And I'm looking at it. And I gotta go back, I can't take it anymore. So I came back, and I came back to my body. And that was just projecting my consciousness. So I'm like, wow, that was cool. So I laid there again, I sort of fell asleep. Then I woke up, and the sun was shining in the window. And I'm laying there, I'm laying on my side this time, facing the wall, facing the sun. And I'm thinking, the sun's irritating. And all of a sudden I went, oh, fuck it, I can't get up, right? I was so tired. And so I'm laying there, and I'm trying to sleep with the sun in my eyes. It wasn't like directly, I mean, there's trees and clouds and stuff, right? But the sunlight was coming in. And all of a sudden, I'm laying on my side facing the window, and all of a sudden, I went across the living room, and I came up to the window, and I went through the window, and I went across the lawn into the neighbor's house, up to their window. And I went to their window, and I'm looking in the window, and then I go in their house, right? And there's a kitchen table sitting right there. There's an old man and an old lady. And the old man's reading the newspaper. The old lady's watching the TV, little black and white TV, sitting there on a whatever. And she's making like toast and jam or something for breakfast, making eggs and stuff. So she's up cooking, doing that, and I'm just watching them. And she's getting up and getting down, and he was reading the newspaper, watching the TV, drinking his coffee. And then I'm like, wow, can they see me? Right? That's what I'm thinking, right? I'm like, wow, I wonder if they can see me. Go. Then I thought, do they have a daughter I can go look at? Oh, maybe she's naked. Right? That was my first thought all the time, right? And they didn't. And then I go, oh, well, this is pretty boring, man, but pretty cool at the same time. And all of a sudden, I came back right into my head. And I'm like, as soon as I came back, I go, is this real? So I'm like, well, there's one way to find out. Get up and take a look. So I got up, went to the window, looked across, and there's the old man sitting there at the window across the lawn from me, and he looks up at me, and I'm going, looking at him. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. I'm like, holy fuck. I couldn't fucking believe it, man. So I ran back. I went to the bathroom or something. Then I laid back down because it's like 5:36 in the morning, right? I'm like, holy shit. I go, that freaked me out. That really freaked me out. So I was seeing in real time. Okay? With the sun on my eyes. Then, the next one. The same day, the same time, I laid back down. I'm laying there and I just relaxed again. I'm laying on my back this time. I'm laying on my back. And then, as I'm falling asleep, I go through the ceiling of the building. I go through the ceiling, I go through the roof, and you can feel the roof go around your face. And then I came outside, and it's blue sky. Blue sky, green tree. There's a green tree beside the house. And there was a couple white clouds, and I'm looking, I go, wow. But I kept going up. I didn't stop going up, and I kept going up, and going up, and going up, and going up in my third eye, just like I just did with the house. And I'm still in my body. I'm like, I'm awake. But I'm meditated, I'm awake, watching us. I'm going, where are we going? What's going on? And we going up high. I'm going, holy shit, we're really high, man. We're really high. I wasn't freaking or peeking. I'm just on for the ride, seeing where this goes. I don't know. And all of a sudden, it starts to get darker and darker, a little bit darker. And all of a sudden, we're in the. I can feel the different layers, the atmosphere layers, like the stratosphere, the atmosphere, the ionosphere, all those. There's a bunch of them. Anyway, and I travel. Another one will go by. So there's a bunch of them that I went through. And then I come through those. I'm still going. And all of a sudden, it's still darker. It's getting darker as I travel. It's getting darker and darker and darker. And pretty soon there's no light at all. It's just like the light just goes away. And I'm looking, and it's like black. All I see is black. And all of a sudden I start to see a star. What looks like stars, right? I'm going, wow, is that a star? Is that a star? And all of a sudden, more star. And then all of a sudden, just fucking billions of stars. Fucking whole wall of stars. And I'm still going. And I'm like, holy shit. Right? And I'm like, wow. And I'm looking, and I'm still traveling. And I can't believe the fucking it was so wow. Like, better than fucking reality. Better than any photograph you ever saw. It was just like, wow. And my heart's like starting to pick up pounding. I'm like, no, calm down. I'm just like, let it go. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just staring at the stars, right? And all of a sudden, this side of me the stars started disappearing again on this side. And I'm like, what the hell's going on, right? And all of a sudden, more and more of them started disappearing. I couldn't figure it out. And then there was like white stuff, like someone had a light bulb, like a flashlight over here. And it was that, and I'm going, and it was so bright, the stars were disappearing on this side, but over here it was dark, and I could still see the stars over on this side. But on this side, my peripheral vision, there was something that was so bright it was blocking out most of the stars. It was kind of sad. And so I'm like, well, I gotta look. And I'm still traveling. The stars ain't getting any bigger, but I'm still traveling, and it's getting brighter and brighter on this side. And I'm like, well, I gotta see. I go, well, maybe I should take a look and see what's. Because it's really bright now. It's like a light bulb, like a flashlight stuck right in the side of your head. I'm like, but I like the stars. And my inner voice, just take a look. So I'm like, okay. And then I went like that. I moved my head like that. And I was fucking orbiting the moon. I'm above the fucking moon. And I'm like, oh, fucking. I came back. Because I freaked out. I'm like orbiting the moon. And then I came back. Right into my third eye. And I'm like, my fucking heart's pounding. I'm going, holy fuck. I didn't know what to do. I got tingles right now. And so I come back to bed. I'm back in my third eye. I'm awake. I'm like, thank you. That was awesome. Right? And so I'm like, I gotta go see. If I see the moon up there, I'm gonna fucking freak. I'm gonna freak. Now, I saw the moon, and I was looking straight up, more or less. Okay? So if this was real time that I was seeing, the moon should be there. I'm like, oh, no way, no fucking way. It's the daytime. The moon's never in the daytime. I didn't know too much, right? I knew the moon came out in the daytime, so I'm like, I gotta check anyway. I gotta check. So I got up out of bed, went outside, I went out on the lawn, and I looked up, and the fucking moon was there. I don't know what scared me more, orbiting the moon or actually coming out in reality and seeing the moon there. Now that happened all because I was on a different surface and I was really loose, and for some reason I didn't have any energy, and I was meditated. I was totally meditated, like I had no energy to get out of bed, and I had the sun coming in. Oh fuck! I had the sun coming in on my third eye. Okay, that's why that happened, and plus I had already broken through my ego years before, and I'm constantly bringing the light to my head and meditating. I didn't ask for it. I didn't will it up. It was just like a gift from my fucking soul. How it worked, I don't know. It was totally normal. It was beautiful. It was, and if I could do that, if I could do that at will, I'd be laying in bed all day, 24 hours a day. Just hook a spinach IV into my arm and say ya. I'd be out exploring every goddamn thing I ever could. Spinach IV. Oh, Popeye shit. Anyway, that's what I'd be doing. That's all I'd be doing. So, those were 3 experiences that happened one morning, like within an hour. It totally changed my life about the third eye and what you can do with it. That is like I was astral traveling, but I didn't have to go. I stayed in my body and just took a look. It was perfect. That's only happened. And it was like real life. Like real life. It was like when I project consciousness and I go to the moon or Mars or something, it's like I don't see it perfectly, okay? It's like you don't see it perfectly. You're still got to filter through your crap. For me, anyway. And I go down, I reach the dirt, and I get in tune with it so I can get in touch. But there's always that little something going on that doesn't make it perfect. But this, and you see more, you see about 70 to 80% visual when you're there projecting consciousness. But when you go in your fucking third eye like that, or you astral travel like that, and you can control your astral travel, which I'm not too good at, it's 130%. It's so wow. It's like HD times 100. Just, it's reality, man. It's truly saying. And I only had a couple stupid experiences like that. And if I could do that on will, oh man. So there's different layers of perception, okay? And I didn't conjure this up. It just happened. So, and the only thing that was different from me waking up in the darkness was the light coming on my face, hitting my third eye. It just triggered all these other things in me. So, I'm going to get on part 2.